Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me is my friend who loves the alphabet. It's Frank. How are you today?
I am A-okay.
Oh, boy, am I glad to see you. We're not going to do this the whole time, though.
When I'm done.
Yeah. Can't continue this destructive event. Thank
Frank.
you for playing. No, Frank. Anyway, Frank, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
Yes, excellent. Very good.
Oh, no.
Happy to hear it.
I can't believe you just killed.
Good. Killed. Yeah. It's a good game. It's amazing how much the alphabet does line up in your life.
Line up.
Oh, see, that wasn't even intentional. I didn't mean to do that. My bad. Yeah. Me too. My bad.
Stop. We need to stop this. It's so bad. This is the lowest form of humor.
What? Great intellectual alphabet humor? The lowest form? Frank, just tell me what you're drinking tonight.
Can you tell we have toddlers, guys, when we watch alphabet content?
Yeah. Listen, I haven't brought my soup in yet, so
okay.
Alphabet soup is remaining off air.
All right, well, the letter of the day is C for Cold Snap.
Ooh, nice, Frank. Nice.
Sam Adams Cold Snap is what I'm drinking today. I was excited to see it. I picked it up. It's a little early for it, but that's okay. I couldn't resist.
I mean, depends on how you look at it. Like, we're kind of in a warm snap right now where I am.
We are, yeah, me too.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. I
think Cold Snap
the season for Cold Snap.
I think Cold Snap. I guess you could have a Cold Snap in the fall, but I'm thinking more like when it starts getting warm and you get lulled into that sense of security, and then bam, you get that cold day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's violent like a snap. It's like, ah. Yeah. Anyway, what are you enjoying?
I'm having a collective arts Stranger Than Fiction porter. I had this on the previous episode, but I enjoyed it so much. I'm just going to continue drinking it. So there we are.
Lovely. I love that for you.
Thank you. It's very good. It's not very heavy porter, which is what I appreciate.
That's big, yeah.
Although I will have you know that I ordered a Maine company. Now I can't remember the name of it. It was an IPA. I willingly ordered. Yes. Thank you. Good job. Wow, really
love Maine lunch.
Yes, it was amazing. I don't know what drew me to it. But I was like, I want this IPA. Words I've never said out loud.
Yeah, right.
Myself. But I really enjoyed it, and I would get it again. So I don't know if that means I'm maturing as a person or I'm actually devolving in my beer taste because all I can taste is IPA.
It's IPAs all the way down. That's all I got. No, lunch is a great IPA. It's one that I will often, like if I see it on a menu, like at dinner or something, I will probably order it, even though I'm not really much of an IPA guy these days anymore. Mm-hmm. That's one that I'll still go to. We had that was one of a handful of like local craft beers that we had at my wedding, I think.
Oh, really? I do not remember that, but I trust you though.
Mm-hmm,
I just remember it being a good time.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Frank, speaking of a good time, last episode we ranked just the A's and B's of the DC universe in a tier list. We're here to bring you hopefully more than 2 letters of the alphabet, but only time will tell.
Let's see if we can do it. Let's pull up the list.
Frank, why don't you run us down for what we did last episode? Who sits in our S to IDK ranking so far?
Yeah. So for anyone who may not remember, this the way this works is you've got like school grades A, B, C, D, F, but then above A is an S tier for things that are just beyond A, and we've added an IDK tier for things that we are just sort of like I don't really even know this character. I can't even rate them. So in the S tier we've got Alfred and Bruce Wayne so far. A is Amanda Waller, Arthur Curry, Barbara Gordon, and Barry Allen. B is Alan Scott, Anti-Monitor, Augustus Freeman, Bane, Barbara Minerva, Basil Carlo, Bart Allen, Buddy Baker, Big Barda, Billy Batson, and Bizarro.
So that 5 times fast.
And C is Adam Strange, Alexis K, Amy Winston, Anissa Pierce, Apollo, Aricia Rab, Artemis, Atrocitus, Beatriz da Costa, Boston Brand, Brody St. Walker. And then in D, we've got Albert Rothstein, Antiope, Atlanta, and Brian Derlin. No Fs so far, but down in the IDK tier, we have Ariana Anderson and Artemis Croc.
Adriana Anderson.
I'm sorry, Adriana, yes.
And Artemis Croc, who I did know about, but you didn't, so we compromised on IDK.
Yeah. So that leaves. So we went through A's and B's. That leaves us with C. I would love us to get as far as we can. So let's jump into it. Right. Let's start with Caitlin Snow.
Caitlin Snow, aka Killer Frost. The most I've cared about her is on the Flash TV show.
Same,
right? So C, D,
C. Yeah, C. I would say I was going to say C or B. So let's.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do C. I know who she is. When she shows up, I go, oh, Killer Frost.
Yeah. I definitely like her because of the TV show. Mm-hmm. Like that's really my whole exposure to her basically is through the show. Carmine Falcone. I'm curious your feelings on Carmine as a Batman fan.
I think Carmine's a B level character.
Okay.
Kind of sits in the anti-monitor category that we talked about last episode, where it's like the importance of the character for how they've been used and why they've been used, even if obviously you don't get him over and over and over and over again. But I think his impact is important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree.
Media, even outside comics, like they just keep using him. So I think that's important.
Yeah, I think that feels right. B feels right for that. Carol Ferris. I'm inclined to put Carol at a B or a C.
I want her at a B. So
okay.
I'm good B. With a B. Star Sapphire, I think, gets utilized well when she appears, but honestly, I think Carol's more interesting than when she's just Star Sapphire. So, and I think that's actually the mark of the character.
Yeah. Yes.
It's whether they're in their secret identity or their public identity. They're worth having there.
Yes, exactly. Yep. I'm with you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, Carter Hall, aka Hawkman. I really like Hawkman. My personal ranking for Hawkman would be A, but I would understand why he would be B.
Okay. I'm okay with an A. I think that Carter Hall deserves.
Yeah, he does.
Deserves an A.
Does not get utilized the way he really should. People tend not to know what to do with him, which is a shame because he's basically Indiana Jones with wings and a mace, and that's super fun. Like, why aren't you doing more with that? But that's just me.
I could see. Yeah, I've never read. There must have been a Hawkman ongoing at some point recently, right?
Just a couple of years ago, Brian Hitch did a Hawkman ongoing that was really enjoyable, and he's in the current JSA book written by Jeff Lemire, which is also really enjoyable. It's just in its first arc, so there's obviously plenty of time to catch up. But it's really good and do recommend.
Nice. I've never read a Hawkman title, like a just Hawkman title, but I feel like my sense is that he probably works better as a solo character than as a JSA character, but that I could be totally wrong about that.
But it depends on how he's written. Like really. But I did really enjoy his solo title. Solo.
A DC story. What about nice? What about Cassandra Cain?
Cassandra Cain, aka Orphan, Black Bat, and Batgirl. I love Cassie. I like Cassandra a lot. I think in my own mind, she's an A character. I think she's really well rounded. She has an excellent backstory. She is important to the Bat family and can hold her own against some of the heaviest hitters in the fighters, I should say, in the DC universe. And I think she deserves love and respect. So she should be an A, but I will be okay if you put her at a B.
I agree with you. I think she is just makes it into A. Because when I look at her next to Barry Allen and Carter and I would put her like and Barbara, I would put her like just below Barbara sort of in my mind. Like I think Barbara is they're both like very important to that world, to that family. So yeah, I think that feels right. What about the other Cassie Sandsmark?
Cassie Sandsmark, Wonder Girl. I like Cassie a lot. I was a Teen Titans fan from way back. She's a good
got me
character.
into them.
Yeah, daughter of Zeus. She's a B for me though. I still think there's a character that doesn't exactly have the oomph that some of the A characters have.
I think that's right. I think Cassie's. Admittedly, I haven't read anything with her in quite a while, but I really thought that they did a nice job in Teen Titans, the Teen Titans run of the early 2000s. I guess is what I'm thinking of.
Yep.
Hard to believe it was that long ago, but yeah,
don't think about it too strongly.
Yeah, exactly. But thinking about that run, I really liked her and Connor, and like it was there was some really solid storytelling there. Yeah.
All right.
Chateau Santana. I have
no idea who that is.
Okay, we're putting the 90K.
Not a clue.
I don't know who that is. I'm not
Maybe
familiar.
it's that guy that was in Suicide Squad. Maybe can't remember his name. Diablo, maybe, but honestly, I have no idea.
I don't know. I know Christopher Chance.
The Human Target. Had a television show. Good for him.
Yes, sure.
Had a great Tom King mini series, or a little series. Good for him. Honestly, though, D-list character.
I want to like Human Target so much.
Yep. But it's a D-list character. I think it's truly dependent upon the writer. I've seen some good stuff, but mostly forget if he never showed up again, I wouldn't notice or care.
Yeah, same. I like feel bad saying it, but that's totally spot on.
Yep.
I think you have different feelings about Christopher Smith.
Christopher Smith is a making fetch happen character. Nobody gave a hoot and a holler about Christopher Smith until he had a TV show, or he was in the Suicide Squad, and then had a TV show, both of which I really enjoyed very much. And now he's just kind of saturated into the DCU because of those things. He's a C, maybe even D-list character, though. Like overall, like I'm glad that something interesting is happening with him, but it's the shows and the movies that are making that happen. And I really don't find him very interesting in the comics.
Yeah. And we're talking Christopher Smith is Peacemaker for anyone who.
Yes. Sorry.
Unfamiliar.
Yeah, I did not say that. Yep.
I agree with you that this is probably a D character who like gets bumped up to C because of John Cena. Like, but really looking at the character and taking the last 5 years, right? 4 or 5 years out of it, it would be a C. It would be a D character if it weren't for the last 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of where he belongs, if I'm being honest. I think he's Christopher Chance and Christopher Smith are pretty much kind of the same level.
Yeah. Like when they're well written, it's great, but if you never showed up again, I wouldn't notice or care.
Yeah. They're not written well consistently enough to be like, that's a great character.
Correct.
Cindy Reynolds.
No idea who that is.
Okay.
Not a clue.
I know Sissy King Jones.
Who's Sissy King Jones?
Sissy King Jones is I'm using my one lookup now because I can't remember because the words are hard.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my gosh, it's killing me. I hate when I can't think of the word. Green Arrow's
Oliver's sister?
Arrowette. Okay. Young Justice.
Okay.
I all that to be like, it just bothered me that I couldn't think of the character's name. I don't care about this character.
Okay. IDK.
It was just bothering me. I couldn't think of her name.
IDK.
Sure. Yeah. IDK is fine. The next one though, Clark Kent is going all the way, to the top.
Obviously, he's
all the way up to the top.
He's an S tier.
Don't need to explain why he's up
Superman.
there. He's the original.
Mm-hmm.
He's the original, and that's where he belongs. That's all we'll hear about it. Cliff Steele,
Robot Man.
Yeah.
I don't really care about that whole team at all.
Neither do I? No.
Didn't watch the show. I tried to watch the show. Didn't care. It's a D. Like, yeah. It's a D. Can't even remember the name of the team now that I'm like saying that show.
Metalman?
Nope. Nope. It's the one that that Stanley ripped off for the X-Men.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. Yeah, thanks. Whew, that was tough. Don't care. Sorry. Yeah. Don't care. Speaking of characters I don't care about, Cole Cash.
Cole Cash. I only care about Cole Cash when I can spend it at Kohl's.
Cole Cash. That's right. The only time I cared about Cole Cash ever was Flashpoint.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. Like, even then, I'm like,
there he is. A character. A man who exists. Just not the Wildstorm characters just weren't ever my thing. So I like his design. It's cool. He's got a cool costume. You know what I mean?
The costumes were good.
But as far as character work and stuff, I'm sure people out of all the Wildstorm characters is one of the more beloved, and I am aware of that. But for me personally, he a D. Because I don't hate him. F is only for the people that need to go away and never come back. I don't really care what he does, So,
I'm totally ambivalent.
Yep, totally ambivalent.
Okay, now next one is interesting because there's different eras to consider. Connor Kent.
I like early 2000s Connor a lot. I don't.
Like we were just talking about
call me Superboy Connor.
Right. No, I don't care for 1990s Connor, but yeah, like Teen Titans era Connor.
Yep.
I felt like that was when his character kind of mattered more. I mean, like was more integral to the DC universe.
I agree.
Like existentially.
I agree. So, but if I have to put all of Connors together, Most of me says C, but I would be okay with B.
I'm in the same place where most of me says C, but a little voice is saying B, but I'm kind of most of me is saying C.
Then I'm going to put him on C.
I like him. No, yeah, no. I think he belongs in B. Now, as I look,
you're looking at Cassie Sandmark, right? And you're
not
like,
just Cassie, but when I'm like, well, I think he's better than Alexis K.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. You know what? That's true. Out of all characters, you're right. He's not. I don't know.
Atrocitus
or Adam Strange.
Yeah, or Adam Strange.
Yeah, no, he's a B character. I agree. Yeah.
The only time I liked Adam Strange was in Krypton.
Oh yeah, I didn't actually really like him in that. Truthfully,
yeah,
it's fine.
All right, Connor Hawke,
the second Green Arrow, Oliver's son. I really like Connor Hawke. I'm very excited that he's back in the DC universe. I'm good with a B. He sits in the same space that Connor sits for me.
I think that's right. That's put the two Connors together.
Exactly.
Where they
Something about the name, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. The last C is Courtney Whitmore.
Stargirl. I love Stargirl. Stargirl's a great character. Super fun. She's not Aquaman. She's a B character.
Yeah. The show was...
I loved the show. It was so fun.
Bad. It was campy. It was a little cheesy, but I thought it actually, given some more time, would have been really could have gone to some interesting places.
And I think the camp and the cheese were part of the real charm of the show.
Totally. Yeah.
Like part of the JSA is the camp and the fun of it. So I really like Stargirl. It's a good character.
All right, let's get on to the letter D with Damien Dark.
He's a person. I mean, I mostly know Damien Dark from the
Neil McDonough,
the Arrowverse, right? Yeah,
right.
But otherwise, he can dark off. D,
yeah,
right.
D is for Damien. That's good enough for D.
Yeah,
but other Damien.
Other Damien. So if you asked me this when Damien first came out in the early 2000s, I would tell you that Damien is an F, right? But then Peter Tomasi got his hands on him and made him a fascinating character, not a one-note brat. And I'm gonna put Damien as an A.
Okay. I am gonna make you. I'm gonna make you dance for that a little bit. I need to be persuaded into A. Because
if you want to, you can make your Damien A. I'm actually okay with. Truthfully, I'm okay with Damien being a B.
To me, Damien is at a Connor and Connor kind of level for me, but I'm open to arguments for A. I'm open to them. But
I think Damien is less convoluted and a little bit more well-rounded than many of the B characters. Like I think that he sits in the. I think he sits as a character where he is fully three-dimensional and is a person as opposed to a plot point at some point, or say like the hero because they have to be, or the villain because they have to be, which are some of the B characters tend to sit a lot of times. But Damien is just a fully fleshed out, can hold his own on a team, in the Bat family, and in a solo book. He just can actually do it all and still maintain the authenticity of his well-rounded character. And so therefore I will put him at an A. I know. But I will be okay if you put him at a B because there are better Robins than him, just saying.
That's where I'm. So this is the thing, right? I'm trying not to compare them against other.
They're all the Robins are very different characters.
They are.
But I don't think that Damien is not a character that like can disappear. Damien's not a character that can disappear for months or years of time.
It's true.
It's just
no.
He's just been around to stay for 20 years. Damien's been around for 20 years.
Yeah, and he is more integral than
you want to admit.
Any of these Bs, really.
You tell me that Damian Wayne is on the same level as Clayface?
Well, no.
Abby.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You convinced me. A for Damien. Dark Side.
Could be controversial.
Okay.
Dark Side is an A, but not an S tier character.
That's I think that's where I was about to land too.
Okay,
I'm between those two, but I'm more
an A
than
few
S.
villain characters that are S tier for me.
Yeah,
They basically an S tier villain. I think in some ways they have to just be part of the ongoing continual cast of a book, whatever. Where Darkseid serves his purpose, and he generally serves it well every time, but he's too thematic, I guess, or symbolic in some ways, a metaphor for other things, for him to be anything more than the omnipotent evil that he is.
Yeah. He just doesn't breach that wall into S. There's some I know what villains I would put in S. I don't want to give them away yet, but
no, because I'm sure they're similar. To mine.
Yeah. Right. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, David Hyde,
aka Black Manta.
Mm-hmm. Not David Hyde Pierce for those.
David Hyde Pierce. Although I would love to see an SNL sketch where David Hyde Pierce played Black Manta.
That'd be.
That's just waiting to happen. Black Manta's a B. He's a B character.
Yeah.
His importance to the Aquaman universe can't be overstated, but he doesn't hold his own on his own.
No. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He is dependent upon Aquaman to
Mm-hmm. I agree, to support him.
Yeah. What about Dawn Granger, aka
Dove
or Dove?
No, she's
okay,
Dove. She's Dove. Hank
Dawn
is
Hawk.
Dove.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Exactly.
Okay. The most I've ever really cared about Hawk and Dove was on the Titans TV show. Though I do think Dawn is more interesting than Hank's brother, whose name I cannot remember. But I'm being generous in saying she's a C character.
That's generous. That is generous.
Yeah. But I'm going to do that mostly because I remember that time that I told Sterling Gates to his face that Hawk and Dove was not a good book. And which I stand by, but I stand by what I said to him, and that it was not his fault.
Yeah.
It was totally not his fault, because he's an excellent writer, and I really enjoyed everything he had written to that point. And it was obviously heavily influenced by his book, his New 52 book by Rob Liefeld and DC editorial, and it just was not working.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget that. I stay up at night thinking about it sometimes. It's one of those, I can't believe I just told someone to their face that their hard work was terrible. I believe my exact words were that it's yeah, but what are you gonna do?
You didn't follow up, but the costumes were good. The
costumes were good. They were fine. But anyway,
yeah. Oh well.
Shall we go on?
Deimos.
IDK.
Deimos certainly are not someone I remember.
I'm sure I've read a story with him in it, but
I'm sure,
not enough for me to care in the slightest. Derek James is I can't remember. There was this string sideway, something like that. There was this string of New 52 books where they were introducing new heroes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Open portals and drop through, but he was basically Peter Parker.
Okay, he looks like Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was basically Peter Parker, but instead of swinging, he was the Spot, and he could open portals and drop things. And he's really one of the only characters that really lasted and still shows up from time to time. That being said, he's a D.
Okay.
Some people might really like him and argue for C, but I don't think he's anything bigger than that.
Well, when his creator comes along and you tell them that he was a D because he sucks, then
I will. But he's a fine character. They just like those books lost steam early,
Yeah.
and then the characters never really integrated well, except for him. But he kind of got dropped too. So
interesting, very interesting.
Yeah. Donald Hall. That's the name. That's the original Dove. Sorry.
Oh. Yes.
I see him on the list. D for Dove.
Yes.
Before we get to him, though, we're going to talk about the one, the only Diana Prince, Wonder Woman.
Diana, S tier.
She's S tier because she's an icon, but as a well-rounded character, she might be an A. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to put her at an S. I'm not moving her from S.
Yeah.
She is out of the three Trinity characters, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. She is the hardest nut to crack. And so
how much of that do you think is because she was first of all created by a male writer and then mostly written by male writers for the next 80 years?
I don't think that's a huge part of it because some of her best stories were by male writers, and
Greg Rucka, and
right? There have been female writers that have written stuff that has not been as good. Some of it's been great, some of it's not. Absolute Wonder Woman is really good. I've been really enjoying it, but Tom King's run has been excellent. Would recommend. Like it's honestly one of the best. But I think the books that fail her are the ones that fail to recognize her as
yes,
the juxtaposition that she is.
Well, yeah. So I think she is well rounded when people like that write her.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that she.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
You do the thing. Go ahead.
All right, that's right. No, I think that for most of her history, she hasn't been utilized very well, and for most of her history, I think she's been underserved.
Right. Which is where I'm like, is she then an A because of that, or is the character better than the people who have written her?
That's what I think. That's why, I think other than just being an icon, which is already, I mean, like, but, you know, it's not just because like we need a girl in there type of, you know, like in the Trinity. I really do think that she brings a different, like, I think the first Wonder Woman movie really, I was obsessed with it when it came out because I thought it was such a good encapsulation of this character who, like, I already liked, but had never, to that point, hadn't really read a ton of stuff that really like spoke to me about her. And I felt like that movie was such a great distillation of the character.
It really articulates really well, like what she really is.
Yeah.
You know, an ambassador for peace, but also someone who will kick your butt.
Right. And so it's that juxtaposition of like gentility and badassedness, you know, that like,
it's a terrible comparison, but she's like a Mr. Spock. Like, you know, in some ways where she's like, you know, ambassador for peace, but he will destroy you.
Yes.
If you let him.
Right.
Like, and that's like, if it comes to that. And so when that's a hard character to constantly keep going.
Yes. But I think Diana's an S tier.
All right.
Dick Grayson's
an S tier.
I was going to say, I think that
he's an S tier. It's Batman and Robin, and you just don't. And especially in recent years, he's like they've really pushed him into not just being like someone who's separated out from Batman and whatever else, but like really became someone of importance in the DCU.
Despite Dan DiDio,
technically still right, and like still leads the Justice League in some capacity, like in Absolute Power. They were listening to what he had to say, with like some of these other ST characters deferring to him. He's been in the game just as long as many of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So,
he's back to the 40s, right?
Yeah,
right. Yes, he does.
Yeah, he was in Batman #1. So
was he in Batman #1 already?
Yes, it was like Detective Comics. And then when it was Batman #1, bam, there's Robin. It's like a year later.
I was going to say, so Detective Comics was 39, so Batman #1 would have been 1940?
1940, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize that he was that.
A long time.
Yeah.
He's been around as long as the Joker. Same issue. Bam.
There you go.
There they are.
Yeah. No, really no question to me that he's an S. Digger Harkness, easy S.
Harkness, easy S. Honestly, a Digger is a C character.
C. Yeah.
Important because of the rogues, maybe also identity crisis and his story in there, whatever. But yeah, he's a C.
Middle of the road, C.
Yep.
Dinah Lance,
Black Canary. She's an A character. I could make an argument for C, but I think I'll keep. I mean S, but I'll keep her at A.
I think she's an A. She's an A. I think she. I think that she's also an underrated character. I must have been 2010 or something when there was that Green Arrow Black Canary run. They had their title, the two of them together. I thought that was such a great book. I wish I could remember who wrote it now. It might have been
Amanda Connor.
Okay.
Jimmy Pala, whatever his last name is.
De Palma? Palmiotti. Jimmy Palmiotti. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good poll.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you.
We're talking 15 years ago or more.
Sure? Yeah. Pretty sure they're married. Or were married.
Are they?
Pretty sure.
Were.
No. Yeah.
Anyway,
but yeah, I enjoyed
Dinah's a great character.
Yeah, it is. She's a great character. One of the best episodes of Justice League Unlimited is the Green Arrow Black Canary episode where she's going after White Whale.
Yeah.
I think it was written by Gail Simone. It's a great episode.
Yes.
That was very good. And actually there's a 6-issue mini going on right now. Tom King is writing it, and it's excellent. It's her and Lady Shiva in the ring, who is the best fighter. And there's like a lot of other stuff going on, but every issue is a different round of the fight, and it's really
That's
good.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I like that.
Really, really good. Next up, we have Dolos. Dolos IDK. I don't know.
I don't know. No, I don't know Dolos. I don't know him. Donald Fairchild.
I know the name, but I can't place.
I can't place who this is.
I will look up because I have not used a lookup yet.
Okay.
Donald Fairchild he's Vigilante. That's a terrible.
That's a bad image to have chosen for Vigilante.
Because I would have known that was Vigilante if it was like that, the slightly sideways V. Anyway, Vigilante is a D character. Anyway, but just I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, I don't know why they chose the picture. Okay, Donald Hall,
D character.
Dove.
Sorry. Yeah, D character.
Talk.
Get out of here.
Got me with a D.
With your doves.
Dove.
Yeah,
Hawk and Dove never really did much for me.
Nope. Never. Donna Troy. Love Donna Troy. Donna Troy's a B for me.
Donna Troy's a B. Yeah. Donna Troy, another one of those characters you really don't see very much anymore. Like she had a moment.
Yeah, she pops up every so often. She'd have a moment. Countdown to Final Crisis, right?
Yes.
She'd have a moment. Yeah, she's all right. Not her best moment in there, but
I mean that's just the last time she was like relevant. I feel like, right? I don't feel like she has been.
She's been in the Wonder Woman book, and she's been really good. All the women have been in the Wonder Woman book, and it's been great. But no, I don't think she's been front and center for quite some time. But which is a shame because she can be a good character.
She can, yes.
The Doomsday.
Okay. Doomsday, I think, is very similar to what we said about the Anti-Monitor, or Bane, in that they were created for a very specific purpose. They served that purpose, and then, well, we can't get rid of them because people like that was too good, so we got to keep them forever. And when we're at the point where was it a Superman, Batman, Jeff Loeb run?
Yes, the Supergirl arc. You're talking about the cloned Doomsdays, and
like just thousands of them like running. I'm like, way to like water it down completely to where it's like there's literally thousands of them. Like it's not special in any way, shape, or form.
And now Batman can take one out with an axe.
Right. Like
they could have been a putty monster. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. It could have been. Yeah, exactly. It could have been so many different things. But to make it Doomsday with the idea being like, oh, this will really have impact. People will be like, whoa, 1,000 Doomsdays. That's crazy. Like, no, it's more like, oh,
well, what about right now with like Doomsday, spoilers for current Superman comics? What about like Doomsday as the time trapper and things like that?
Yeah, I that's kind of, once the seal has been broken where like Doomsday's kind of not the scary Superman killer that he was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of don't care anymore. Like it. So all that to say, I would put Doomsday at like a B because it
because of the significance, but not because of the continued reprisal of the character.
Correct.
Yep, it's exactly how I feel. It's exactly so.
I feel like he is overused since then, but in the grand scheme, he's a B character.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got 4 more of these Ds.
4 more. Dorzul Giganta. She's a C character.
She's a C character. Yeah.
She serves her purpose when she shows up at the end.
What about Dorothy Spinner?
I have no idea who
I'm trying to place who that is. I don't know. Cindy Lou Who of the DC universe, maybe. I don't know.
It's terrible.
Yes. Druzod.
We love Zod. We kneel before him in many ways. Zod is an A character?
I think Zod's an A character.
Yeah, okay. He's a character, but he's also
he's an A character. Yeah, I think so.
I think he's enough. I think whenever he shows up, it feels important, which is impressive of any character.
Yeah.
Sometimes characters show up and you're like, oh yes, you're here. Good for you. But I like that, but also characters that are clear mirrors of their heroes, like of the antagonist protagonist model.
Yes,
really have a better rounding out. In a lot of ways, I would consider, like, if this was Marvel, I would consider Magneto an ST character, but Zod is pretty close to that type of. He can be or should be that type of character.
Sure. Yeah. Should be. On balance.
Isn't.
Right.
Which is why he's A.
Yeah.
But it's like early Magneto in that way, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You got one more under the letter D here, and I think we got to call it a night after that.
I think so. What's the character? Duke Thomas?
Duke Thomas.
Honestly, Duke's a C for me. I've never really taken to him as a character or member of the Bat Family, and neither really has the Bat Family.
I was going to say, yeah. Has anybody?
It always feels kind of forced or extra that he's still around or doing things, and nothing against Duke himself. It just was like an idea that never went, and they've tried real hard, like, you know, he's the light where the Bat Family or Batman is dark, and he's the light, which is why he's the beacon or the whatever. It's just the signal. That's his name. And it's just, it's all fine. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. He's a C.
C, right? Yeah. Fine.
Yeah. Hanging out with Adam Strange.
Mid-tier, yeah.
Totally makes sense. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so our S tier: Alfred, Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Diana, Dick Grayson. A tier: Amanda Waller, Arthur Curry, Barbara Gordon, Barry Allen, Carter Hall, Cassandra Cain, Damian Wayne, Darkseid, Dinah Lance, and Drew Zod. B tier: Alan Scott, Anti-Monitor, Augustus Freeman, Bane, Barbara Minerva, Basil Carlo, Bart Allen, Buddy Baker, Big Barda, Billy Batson, Bizarro, Carmine Falcone, Carol Ferris, Cassie Sandsmark, Connor Kent, Connor Hawk, Courtney Whitmore, David Hyde, Don Troy, and Doomsday. That's the B tier. That's our biggest tier. C tier, not far behind, with Adam Strange, Alexis K, Amy Winston, Anissa Pierce, Apollo, Aricia Rab, Artemis, Atrocitus, Beatrice DaCosta, Boston Brand, Saint Walker, Caitlin Snow, Dawn Granger, Digger Harkness, Doris Zool, and Duke Thomas. And then in the D tier, Albert Rothstein and Tyapi, Atlanta, Brian Derlin, Christopher Chance, Christopher Smith, Cliff Steele, Cole Cash, Damian Dark, Derek James, Donald Fairchild, and Donald Hall. Still no Fs. We don't hate any DC characters so far. We just think some are more significant than others. And then there's the IDK tier with Adriana Anderson, Artemis Croc, Chato Santana, Cindy Reynolds, Sissy King Jones, Deimos, Dolos, and Dorothy Spinner.
Excellent. We'll be back at some point probably to continue to do another 2 letters.
Yeah.
Probably more because we're in ENF. And
we are, yeah. We just are getting through these faster now. Well, folks can find us over at beerwithgeeks.com, and where we've done like superhero drafts. We've done like other sort of superhero based games. So if that's your kind of thing, check out beerwithgeeks.com and search the archives. Rate and review the show wherever you get your podcasts. Let us know, like in the YouTube comments or in an email at beerwithgeeks@gmail.com if you like this format and want to see us do more of these. And don't forget to head over to patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio to support the show.
Frank, it is always an absolute pleasure to see you and to hear you ramble off things about us. So until next time, cheers.
Cheers.